Hey folks, welcome back to another review with yours truly, Sam Healey. Today we're taking a look at Woolly Whammoth. This is a game that's being put out by Smirk Dagger Games, designed by Nicholas Cravotta and Rebecca Bleau. So basically this says that it is a devious one step too far guts game of hunting mammoths. So basically you have your tribe of cave people and you are trying to push woolly mammoths off a cliff so that you can harvest the meat and feed your family and tribe and so forth and so on. But you're doing so by playing cards out of your hand to move forward on a track. So let's go ahead and get down to the table. I'll show you how it works and then we'll come back in a few moments with my final thoughts. Let's hit it. So in a game of Woolly Mammoth, each person is going to take on the leader of a different tribe that is trying to score the most points and hunt the most mammoths so that they can feed their tribe. All right, and the way that you hunt the mammoths is by getting your person to one of these two spaces in order to knock this guy off the cliff, and then that will score you a meat token, and then that is going to be used for points. And the first one to hold 6 of these meat tokens will be the winner. Now, it is also possible for your opponents to lose all of their village people. And if that's the case, you have the last standing village, then you're also the winner that way as well. On the onset, everybody is going to get their hand of cards, which will have different movement values and special abilities on them. Everybody has their own deck. And then you'll also, if you want to use the variant, you also have a special ability that only your tribe can use. So basically what happens here is each round is played in 4 different phases where each person is going to play a movement card. Then once everybody has chosen a card and flipped it over simultaneously, every single cave person is moved the sum total of the large numbers that are on the card. So for example, we have 3, 5, 6. So each person is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, this person here played a 2 plus 1. The small number is something that they can do if they would like to. So they're going to go ahead and do that. They're going to move 1 extra. But this person also played a charge card, which means that one of these cards are flipped over and the effects are carried out. So the rhino here is going to charge 5 spaces forward. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This person perishes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This person also perishes, but they could use their stealthy tribe here to duck and ambush. So they're going to go ahead and flip this card over to use that duck and ambush, which means that they're going to not perish, and they're also going to grab this token as one of their meat tokens. And then over here, the timid tribe is going to flip theirs as well so that they can move back 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which keeps them from being squashed. So with this person, they've lost one of their members of their tribe. They add another one here. This guy will come back up here and they will stay here. This guy will come back up here and then this guy will come back up here. And then another round is played where cards are chosen. And so after cards are chosen again for that second round, we have 4, 5, 6, minus 3. So they just move forward 3, 1, 2, 3. This one is going to move forward 1, 2, 3. And then this person is going to move forward 1, 2, 3. But they also have the ability to move 1 more. So do these people over here. So they'll be able to move 1 forward like this. This person successfully knocked the mammoth off of the cliff, which in turn gives them another meat token. And that will be the end of this round. Everybody resets like so. These don't move anymore because they're done. And this is how the game continues until, as I said before, your tribe is the last tribe standing, or you have reached 6 meat tokens before anybody else, and that will be the end of the game. And that's pretty much how you play Woolly Whammoth. So that's about that for Woolly Mammoth. It is a very simple game. It is not hard to play at all. Very, very simple. And it says that ages 10 and up, you could probably go a couple of years lower than 10 even, because I don't think it'll be very difficult for them to catch up. It's basically just being able to do math and understanding the concept of wanting to get to those two tusk spaces at the end of the track to try to push that mammoth off the cliff in order to gain the point. But at the same time, you want to be thinking about what your opponents might be playing, because all of those numbers are added together, and then you move forward. Everybody moves forward the same number of spaces. So, and you don't want to get crushed, of course. So there is some thought processes that are going there. So 10 would probably be a good starting point, but depending on the kid, you can probably go lower than that as well if they're going to be able to, if you think they're savvy enough to pick it up. So my first pro here is the gameplay. At first, it seemed very two-dimensional, where you were just going to be moving backwards and forwards. But as the game played through, I began to see the different nuances that you could use with the playment, with the playing or the placement of the right card at the right time, because you don't necessarily need to get those 6 food tokens. You just need to, at the very least, be the last tribe standing. So if you see that one of your opponents is in a precarious situation on their board, you can play that card where they're going to go off the end. If you fall off the end, if you go past those 2 tusk points, those 2 tusk places on the track, then you fall off the edge of the cliff without having pushed the mammoth over, and your cave person dies at that point as well. So there's some neat decision-making processes that you don't actually see on the onset. You have to kind of get into it a little bit and see how everybody's playing, and then those other choices come alive to you. And I like it when games do that. There's more underneath the surface than you can see with your eye at the very beginning. So I like it when a game surprises you like that, and this one definitely did. A second pro from me, and it's kind of a variation that the rulebook offers, but I don't use it as a variation because it's such a simple variation, and that is the player powers for each of the different tribes. They're not difficult to use, so I can understand how somebody might want them not to be in there, depending on how old the people you are that you're playing the game with. But at the same time, I don't think anybody's going to have a problem understanding how to use these special powers. But I understand how you may want to use it as a variation. I'm not going to use it as a variation. That's just part of the game for me, because I think it does make the game that much better. I like having variable player power, something that I can do that nobody else can do. And that's what this does. It's small. You could even say almost that it's nigh insignificant, the power that you have, but they are all useful in the right situations. And I like that when games do that. It gives me something to go, aha, I'm not dead, or aha, your plan didn't work, that type of thing. So I like it when things are like that with variable player powers, and that's what that has. It's a very light player power. Don't read too much into this, but I like the fact that it's there because it makes me different from everybody else, and that's a big thing for me in games. And my third pro for the game is quite simply that it does not overstay its welcome. It does not last as long as you think it might with either game-ending condition. Getting 6 tusk or meat points, meat tokens, is not as hard as you might think it is. Also, knocking the other people out, or just things happening that knock their people out, to where you're the last one standing, that doesn't take very long at all either. So the book says 40 minutes, or I'm sorry, the box says 40 minutes, and that's probably at the higher end of the spectrum. I would imagine you could probably play this one easily within about 30 minutes, I think. As long as everybody's savvy to what's going on and they're not taking too long making choices, because you do have your entire hand available to you the entire time, except for those after you've played the card, they go into the discard pile and you can't get them back without spending a meat token. But this is not a long game. It does not overstay its welcome, and it's fun. So that's a pro for me. Now, as far as cons are concerned, the main con for me are the components. I don't have to have plastic miniatures, and of course plastic minis are going to raise the price of the game, so I'm not saying that, but at the same time I didn't like how large the standees were, because well, I just didn't like it. I don't know why. I usually I like big miniatures. I usually like bigger components and stuff like that because I've got meat hooks for fingers, but for some reason they just rubbed me the wrong way here. So that was a con for me, and really pretty much in the same con. While the artwork was light and comical, and I think it was advantageous to use light comical artwork in this, I didn't really enjoy it that much. So it didn't have the table appeal that I wanted it to have. Also, talking about the components, the tracks don't stay together. So when you lift up the larger side track, they are 2 levels, which was a good thing. Don't get me wrong. I like the sliding track. Whenever you push a mammoth off the end, your track elongates a little bit. So it takes you longer to get to that next person, that next mammoth, than it does other people. It also ups the level of tar pits that are there. I didn't mention this, but tar pits will actually kill your person if you end your movement on one. So that's another thing that you have to keep track of. But I didn't like how the 2 boards that make up your track don't stay together. They come apart. And again, it's not that big of a deal. It's a minor thing, but it still is a con for me. So all in all, I'm going to go ahead and give Woolly Mammoth a 7 out of 10 because I did enjoy the game a lot. It's a little bit lower. It's not the one that I'm going to always pull out, but I know that with a younger group especially, this will work well. And then as a filler game for an older group, it's going to also work well too. So I like that. I like that it has a little bit of, that kind of age diversity in there where it works well with a couple of different groups of people in different kinds of settings. So that's 7 out of 10 for me for Woolly Whammoth. I think it's a good game, and you should go check it out from Smirk Dagger Games. So thanks for joining me. I certainly appreciate it. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care.
Thanks so much for watching another Dice Tower video. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to the channel for more fun, comprehensive board game coverage. Also, consider joining us at one of our events. Come to Dice Tower Retreat, a small, intimate gathering where gaming is king. Join us for Dice Tower Cruise, the largest board game cruise. Attend Dice Tower West in Las Vegas for gaming fun on the West Coast, or Dice Tower East in Orlando in sunny Florida. Dice Tower Conventions, the friendliest gaming conventions on Earth. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.